Oh my gosh, it's so gratifying and it's really fun actually. It's kind of nice when it's like a pain to power story, right? When we're like, I really went through a lot, but I want to help others who are in that situation because I know I can truly empathize. Even if it's not exactly the same. Everyone's experience is different. I generally know what a lot of people are going through because I had the whole gamut of the gut issues from skin to joint, gas, bloating, diarrhea, constipation, all those things. And it feels like if there's something good to have come out of that experience, then it was worth it. And I want to share what I know. So it feels really great.
Is there anything that you'd like to at least tell to the next generation of men and women who are saying, I'm starting to experience this, but I'm listening to Trish now, I'm listening to Terrain now, and I want to make sure that I don't have the constipation, don't have the diarrhea, don't have the aches and pains. What advice would you give them going forward as they may be experiencing or they may be on the path to experiencing what you experience because the age is so close?
Yeah, exactly. You know what I would say is learn to start to listen to your body. And one of the simplest things that I actually like to, simplest tips and strategies that I like to give to people is to practice mindful eating because it doesn't cost any money and it can be stressful to go down this path with what foods do I eat? What do I do? What do I not do? And mindful eating is the practice of sitting with our meal and chewing our food, 20 to 30 bites, really experiencing it, noticing the textures. That actually is going to help your digestion. Your saliva actually starts the digestive process. You're less likely to overeat when you're slowing down because your body can naturally get to that fullness cue rather than when we wolf it down and then we want dessert after in seconds and things like that. And this is also when your body's really going to start to give you those signals of when a food works for you or doesn't work for you. You're going to either feel energized after, or you're going to feel sluggish and get the bloat and things like that. So this is a simple thing to, in our fast-paced world, slow down, take some deep breaths while you eat. And this is going to start to build that connection between your mind and your body that you need. So that's one of the, I think, the simplest things you can do today. And then the last thing I'll say is don't shy away from getting support. There's no shame in this. I've worked with plenty of people. Gut issues are a thing. You're not weird for having gut issues. In fact, they're becoming more and more common. Whatever that looks like for you, if it's your doctor, nutritionist, a health coach like myself, I think it's worth connecting with supports early on so you don't have to go down a long path of struggling.
And I agree. I think sometimes we shy away from that because to admit that there may be an issue is being vulnerable,
Yes.
right? To ask for help. And a lot of us are, I don't want to use the word proud, but maybe we don't have the courage to say, Trish, I need help with this, especially around something that, let's be honest, it's a little embarrassing to say, I'm having
Sure.
bowel movement issues,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah,
And it's kind of like no one really talks about what happens in a bathroom, right?
exactly.
Like if there's, I guess the two most secretive areas of the house is what happens in the bedroom, what happens in the bathroom.
Exactly. 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 I think that you hit the nail on the head there by saying it's a vulnerable experience and being vulnerable feels really scary and it does take courage. But I like to tell people, and I said this before, even in past careers I had, like you don't need to really be embarrassed by me. Like I'm the person who wants to normalize talking about the bathroom. It is totally okay. Um, I don't know that I'll know exactly your experience. I'm not going to say I'm the cure all solution, but I've been there and I'm not going to judge. And I think even when we have conversations, whomever you have this conversation with, you'll probably find that you're not as alone as you thought you were. And having these conversations can kind of open it up for other people. Like I've had past classmates reach out to me and say, wow, I was going through this too, like during the time that we were in school together and working together, and I had no idea that you were going through it too. And I'm like, I didn't know you were going through it because we don't talk about it. So taking that leap, but of course, with someone you trust is really helpful, and maybe first opening up to someone you trust to kind of get your feet wet and talking about it, and then continue to build your supports from there.